head of state opened the proceedings, giving a broad picture of the progress the country has been making in significant policy areas, and also highlighted the country's plans and achievements in the area of electricity and logistics, among other areas.
The South African government continues to make progress in a number of areas, particularly in policies that are aimed at driving inclusive growth, job creation, and poverty eradication. At the same time, we're working to build a more capable, ethical, and developmental state. We are continuing to work on containing inflation, maintaining prudent fiscal management, and steadily improving our sovereign risk profile.
The main host of the conference, the JSE, noted the keen appetite for investment on the local stock exchange in the past year or so, adding that this showed a sharp increase in confidence in the country.
Over the past year, the signal has been unmistakable. Since the formation of the Government of National Unity last year, the FTSE JSE Top 40 has climbed roughly 55% in US dollar terms, outpacing the MSCI Emerging Markets Index, which is up 28%, the MSCI World, which is up 27%, and even the NASDAQ 100, which is up 41%. And the JSE's own share price has risen more than 60% in US dollars.
Reserve Bank Governor Lesitsha Kganyago said he hopes the bank's signal of targeting a lower inflation rate would go a long way to positively influence investor confidence. This because investors are attracted to lower inflation environments, as any return on investment will be less exposed to the value-eroding nature of inflation.
South Africa has entered the era of a low inflation economy. And once you enter an era of a low inflation economy, you expect inflation expectations to converge towards a lower preferred inflation rate. And so we saw inflation expectations begin to decline. And the most recent reading of inflation expectations for the 2 years ahead is at 4.2%. So you can see that you are seeing that inflation expectations are beginning to decline, and that is positive.
The country's reform agenda is something investors have been watching keenly. The key project manager of Operation Vulindlela in the presidency gave an update on how far the country has come with reforms, indicating that it's on the right track. The reforms in energy, logistics and infrastructure, among others, will be pivotal to creating a conducive environment to invest just not only in the local JSE, but in the actual bricks and mortar of the local economy.
We've actually been phenomenal in the reform implementation journey. And each and every one of this data points to a decision that we've taken or implemented that is critical to the 5 areas that we initially did in the first. And so in summary, I think it's important just to go back to that. We remove the licensing threshold for electricity generations. We auction high demand spectrum. We established the Water Partnership Office to support private sector investment. We established the National Transmission Company of South Africa. We established the Transnet Infrastructure Manager as an operating division of Transnet. That's important for both the two, electricity and logistics, because those are important components to create a competitive environment that allows for private sector into these spaces. And more importantly, at the end of 2024, after last year's investment conference, we finally were able to publish a rail freight network statement that indicates access prices published for third-party slot sales.
Investors will have received plenty of food for thought from the various speakers, shining a light on why South Africa is worth giving an investment chance for the long term. The SA Tomorrow Investor Conference runs through to the 22nd of October. Nompumelo Siziba, SABC News, Johannesburg.